My friends, I need you to stop whatever you're doing right now, because what I'm about to share with you today could literally change the dollar amount that hits your bank account this month, next month, and for the rest of this year. And I don't say that lightly. I know you've been watching these videos for a while now, and I know some of you have been feeling the pinch. Groceries up, utilities up, rent up, and your Social Security check just doesn't seem to stretch as far as it used to. You've been doing your best, clipping coupons, cutting back on things you shouldn't have to cut back on, and quietly wondering if Washington even notices. Well, today I'm here to tell you that there is some real, meaningful news that could put more money back in your pocket. We're talking about a $650 increase that is affecting Social Security retirement beneficiaries, SSI recipients, and SSDI recipients across the country. Now I want to walk you through exactly what this is, who qualifies, when the money arrives, and most importantly, what you need to do right now to make sure you don't miss a single dollar that belongs to you. So grab your coffee, sit down with me for a few minutes, and let's go through this together. Now, before we get into the numbers, I want to make sure we're all on the same page about where this increase is actually coming from, because there's been a lot of confusion floating around online. This $650 figure isn't coming from just one single announcement. It's the combined result of several overlapping adjustments that are hitting at the same time. And when you add them all together, many beneficiaries are seeing their monthly checks grow by roughly $650 or more compared to what they were receiving just a couple of years ago, and that is a significant change. Let me break it down piece by piece so you can understand exactly what's driving this number. The single biggest driver is the cost of living adjustment, what the SSA calls the COLA. Now, you probably already know that COLA is the annual increase the Social Security Administration applies to your benefit to help you keep up with inflation. For 2024, the COLA was 3.2%. That followed the historic 8.7% COLA from 2023, the largest increase in over 4 decades. And when you stack those 2 years of adjustments on top of each other, the cumulative effect on your monthly check is enormous. Let's put some real numbers on this so it makes sense. If you were receiving $1,500 a month back in early 2022 before these big COLA adjustments came into effect, an 8.7% increase in 2023 added about $130 to your check, bringing it to roughly $1,630. Then the 3.2% increase for 2024 added another $52, putting you around $1,682 per month. And for 2025, the SSA announced a COLA of 2.5%, which adds another approximately $42 to that same check, landing you somewhere around $1,024 per month. Add it all up across those 3 adjustment cycles, and you're looking at roughly $224 more per month than you were getting in 2022. And for people receiving average or above average benefits, especially those who waited until full retirement age or delayed benefits, the dollar increase is even higher. But here's where the $650 figure becomes very real for a lot of you. Because the COLA increases aren't the only thing moving your check upward. There are also maximum benefit changes happening at the same time. The SSA recently confirmed that the maximum monthly Social Security retirement benefit for someone retiring at full retirement age has climbed significantly. In 2022, that maximum was $3,245 per month. By 2025, that same maximum benefit has risen to $4,018 per month. That's an increase of $673 per month at the top end, and that's right in line with the $650 figure you've been hearing about. Now, I know not everybody is receiving the maximum, but this ceiling increase matters for everyone because it signals that the entire benefit structure has been adjusted upward across the board. Higher earners see larger dollar increases, yes, but even moderate and lower earners are seeing meaningful jumps thanks to the compounding effect of multiple COLAs stacking on top of each other. Now let's talk about SSI specifically, because my friends on supplemental security income deserve their own moment in this conversation. The SSI federal payment rate has also gone up. In 2025, the maximum federal SSI payment for an individual is $967 per month, and for a couple, it's $1,450 per month. Compare that to what SSI recipients were receiving just a few years ago, $841 per month for an individual in 2022, and you can see that the increase has been substantial. That's a difference of $126 per month just on the SSI side, and when you factor in state supplements that many of you receive on top of the federal payment, the real-world increase can be even higher depending on where you live. States like California, New York, and Massachusetts offer some of the most generous SSI supplements in the country. So if you live in one of those states and you've been collecting SSI for a few years, your total monthly payment may have grown by well over $200 since 2022. And for my SSDI friends, those of you receiving Social Security disability insurance, I want to make sure you know this applies to you too. SSDI benefits are calculated using the same formula as retirement benefits, which means they receive the same COLA adjustments every year. The average SSDI payment in 2025 is approximately $1,580 per month, up from about $1,358 in 2022. That's a difference of over $220 per month for the average SSDI recipient. And for those of you with higher work histories or longer contribution records, your individual increase may be even greater than that. The SSA automatically applies these COLA increases to your benefit. You don't have to do anything to receive them. But what I want you to check is whether your benefit amount is actually reflecting all of the adjustments you're entitled to. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov, review your current benefit amount, and compare it to what it was in prior years. If something looks off, call the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213 and ask them to do a manual review of your record. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about something that a lot of people don't realize can quietly reduce the increase you're supposed to be receiving, and that's the Medicare Part B premium. Every year, for those of you who have Medicare Part B premiums deducted directly from your Social Security check, the government adjusts that premium amount too. In 2025, the standard Medicare Part B premium is $185 per month, which is up from $174.70 in 2024. That means Medicare took back about $10.30 more per month out of your COLA increase before it ever hit your bank account. Now, the good news is that the SSA has what's called the hold harmless provision, which prevents your net Social Security payment from going down due to Medicare premium increases if your COLA increase wasn't large enough to cover it. But for most of you, the COLA increases in recent years have been substantial enough that your net check still went up even after Medicare took its piece. The important thing is to look at your net deposit, not just your gross benefit, and make sure that your take-home amount is genuinely higher than it was last year. Let's also talk about taxes, because this is an area where a lot of seniors get caught off guard. Here's the reality. As your Social Security benefit increases, there's a chance, depending on your total household income, that more of your benefit becomes subject to federal income tax. The thresholds haven't changed in decades, which means they haven't kept up with inflation, and that creates what some people call bracket creep. If your combined income, which includes your adjusted gross income, any tax-exempt interest, and half of your Social Security benefit, exceeds $25,000 as an individual or $32,000 as a couple, then up to 50% of your Social Security may be taxable. And if it exceeds $34,000 individually or $44,000 as a couple, up to 85% can be taxed. Now, I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying it because knowledge is power. If your benefit has gone up by $650 or more over the past few years, you'll want to sit down with a tax preparer or a CPA before you file your return and make sure you understand your tax situation. In some cases, making adjustments to how you withdraw from an IRA or other retirement account can help you manage your taxable income more strategically. And for my veterans in the audience, my friends who served this country and are now receiving both VA benefits and Social Security, I want to make sure you know that VA disability compensation also received a COLA increase in 2025 of 2.5%, the same rate as Social Security. If you're a veteran rated at 100% service-connected disability, your monthly VA compensation in 2025 is over $3,700, and that is completely tax-free. When you combine that with your Social Security retirement or SSDI payment, we're talking about a very meaningful monthly income stream. And if you're a veteran who is not yet receiving VA disability benefits but you have a service-connected condition, please reach out to a VA-accredited claims agent or your local veteran service organization. There may be money sitting on the table that you've already earned and simply haven't claimed. Now, before I wrap up today, I want to share a quick story that I think a lot of you will relate to. I heard from a viewer. Let's call her Dorothy. She's 71 years old, lives in Ohio, widowed, and has been on Social Security for about 6 years. Dorothy told me she almost didn't notice that her check had gone up because she has automatic bill payments set up and never really looked at her deposit closely. It wasn't until her daughter sat down with her and pulled up her banking app that they realized Dorothy's monthly check had increased by nearly $200 compared to what she was receiving 3 years ago. That $200 extra, which Dorothy hadn't really processed as new money, was quietly building up in her account every month. When they caught up on the numbers, Dorothy realized she could cover her prescriptions without dipping into her savings anymore. That's a real difference in someone's life. And the lesson there is simple. Check your statement. Know your number. Don't just assume everything is fine. Confirm it. So here's what I want you to do before you close this video. First, go to SSA.gov and log into your My Social Security account to verify your current benefit amount. Second, compare it to what you received in January 2022. If your benefit hasn't increased by a meaningful amount over these past few years, something may be wrong and you need to call the SSA. Third, if you're a veteran, contact the VA or a VSO to make sure you're receiving all the benefits you're entitled to. Fourth, if you're on SSI, check with your state's social services office to make sure you're receiving your full state supplement on top of the federal payment. And fifth, please, share this video with a friend, a neighbor, a family member, or anyone you know who is on Social Security. Because sometimes the most important information never reaches the people who need it most, and you might be the person who changes someone's financial life simply by hitting that share button. My friends, you worked hard. You paid into this system. And these increases exist because of you. Don't leave a single dollar on the table. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next one.